Hello everyone. I will be presenting about GMO. So what is GMO? So GMO stands for genetically modified organism. So GMO is a plant, animal or microorganism whose genetic material has been altered in a way that does not occur naturally through mating or natural recombinant. So I would say that GMO is a living thing like a plant, animal or microorganism whose DNA has been changed by scientists in a lab instead of changing naturally. So this is done to give it helpful traits like growing better or being protected from pests. So this is the brief history of GMO. So in 1970s, selective breeding used for thousands of years. Then in 1973, Herbert Boyer and Stanley Cohen create the first genetically engineered bacteria. And in 1982, U.S. Food and Drug Administration approves GM-produced human insulin. Then in 1983, first genetically modified plant or tobacco developed. Then 1994, Blabsab tomato becomes the first GM food sold in the US. Then in late 1990s to 2000, GM crops like for example corn, soy, cotton widely adopted, and 2015 Aqua Advantage salmon approved. Then today, Crips are enables precise gene editing. So, as you have seen in the picture, this is the safety of GMO. So, the safety of GMO is proven through a three-step scientific journey. So, it starts with substantial equivalence, confirming that a GM crop is nutritionally identical to its natural twin. Next is toxicology and multi-generational studies put the food to the test over several years, ensuring that long-term consumption does not affect organ health or reproduction. And lastly is epidemiological data looks at the big picture, showing that populations eating GMO for decades have seen no increase in chronic illnesses compared to those who don't. Because of this layered evidence, global authorities like the World Health Organization and FDA approve GMOs are a safe and reliable part of our food supply. Even though GMO are widely considered safe to eat, concerns remain about their broader impacts. So these include environmental risks like herbicide-resistant weeds and effects on beneficial insects, increased use of herbicides and possible chemical residues, and questions about research independence. Because of this, some advocate a cautious approach despite general agreement on food safety. So these are the examples of GMO products. So GMO products are widespread in the global food supply. So often appearing as ingredients in processed food rather than as whole produce. First example is corn or BT corn. Corn is the most commonly grown GMO crop in the United States, with over 90% of U.S. corn being genetically engineered. A primary variety is BT corn, which is modified with a gene from the bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis to produce proteins toxic to specific pests like the corn borer, while remaining safe for humans. While some is sold as sweet corn, most is processed into ingredients like high fructose, etc. So next is Arctic apples. These are prominent examples of GMO products designed for consumer convenience, approved by the FDA in 2015. Arctic apples, specifically Granny Smith and Golden Delicious varieties, are engineered to resist browning when sliced or bruised. They achieve this by reducing the level of the enzyme responsible for browning, so helping to reduce food waste. Next is Aqua Advantage salmon. So this is the first genetically engineered animal approved for human consumption by the FDA, developed by Aqua Bounty Technologies. Next is our potential applications. So GMOs are widely used in healthcare, and nurses are key to their safe use. Through recombinant DNA technology, microbes produce essential drugs like insulin, making treatments safer and more reliable. Recombinant vaccines such as the human papilloma virus vaccine protects patients without using whole viruses. Advanced therapies like CAR T cell therapy and pharmacogenomics allow personalized treatment based on genetics. So, as you have seen in the picture, nurses administer these therapies, monitor outcomes, and educate patients, ensuring safe and effective care. So, GMOs raise issues beyond food safety, including environmental risks like herbicide-resistant weeds from chemicals such as glyphosate, and ethical concerns over patented seeds and farmer dependence. So debates about labeling and transparency also affect public trust. So new technologies like CRISPR bring both promise and ethical challenges. So as you have seen in the picture, the issue is balancing innovation with environmental protection, fairness, and informed public choice. So that's all our topic about GMO. So I hope you can understand about this topic. Thank you.